Hi, back again. Okay, so hopefully you're done your planning research phase for your Webquest. So I collected my information for the one I'm going to make with you here on just a Google Doc. Honestly, a lot of times I'll just bookmark things and save it that way. Um, Everybody has their own way of doing their research, so whatever works for you. But one of the things I usually know before I start making it is linear. I know this one's going to be linear. I want all the students to go in a specific order of things, and I am going to give them a task at the end to do. I know I'm using this at the beginning of my unit as a way to intro the unit, and I know this is definitely more about the content. This is about lab safety. I teach chemistry. They'll learn this, lab skills later. This is not a research-based skill thing. It's really just, can you learn the lab safety rules, and are you going to be safe? Okay, so I have my basics here. I've collected an article, a video, an infographic, a cartoon I want to use, and I have an idea of what my task is. So I kind of have like a nice overview. So I'm going to switch this is my Google Doc plan here, and I'm going to start making my Google form. So I'm going to X me out. Okay. And so you want to be in your Google Drive. And feel free to pause the video whenever you need to. Go to New, and usually it's under More, Google Forms. So I'll make a Google form. And my topic's going to be lab safety, whatever your topic is. I'm just going to give it a title, lab, oh, nope, lab safety. Okay, so whatever I title it will be up here. I can write a description if I want. I think it's pretty self-evident there. And now I want to go back. Actually, first, I always want name, full name. And maybe you want the name, first name, last name, first name. Just let the students know and make this required. Okay, so that's one thing. That's our first step. You definitely have their name. If you want to also collect their ID or their email, that's fine. I just usually collect their full name, and I'm fine with that. The other thing is, are you going to make this count for points? I usually do, but again, it's up to you. It's personal. So I know I'm going to make this a grade. They're going to have to get certain things correct in it, like my safety quiz. So I'm going to go to settings. And you can make it that so they have to use their, their Newberg email. I find if we're virtual, some of them are using their phones and aren't going to do that. So I tend to not do that. It's up to you. Are you going to let them do it more than once or just once? If it's a kind of like a quiz situation, just once. That's up to you again. Okay. And then, so we're still in the settings phase, presentation. Are you going to, let them know how far they are along in the process? Sometimes I do that. You're going to shuffle the questions. I'm not, because this is a very linear thing that I'm doing, so I'm not going to do that. And am I going to have it count? Yeah. Now, whether you count it in your quiz category, this could count as a classwork grade, but it's going to count for points, is what this means. They're going to get their points back immediately. And in this case, I will allow them to see missed questions and correct answers and point values. Sometimes I don't want them to see the correct answers until everyone's done it. It's really up to you, but in this case, I'm fine with that. This is an intro assignment after all. Okay, so I've made this count as points. Okay, another thing you might want to do is just to jazz this up a little bit. I might pick some background. I might choose an image to put there. And let's see if there's anything. This is lab safety, so I'm going to do some lab equipment. Okay, and choose my color. I can change my background color. I can change the font. There are not a lot of font choices, but I can change it. I'll make them formal. Okay. So I've done my settings, which is where I made it a quiz. I've done my theme. I've, sort of dressed it up a little bit. Now I'm going to get started. I have my first section here, which is just them entering and putting their name. Okay. I'm going to add a section. I like adding sections. You don't have to. I guess you could have a continuous stream, but I like having sections. In my first section, going back to my planning doc, I'm going to have a real world article. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go look at that article. So I've saved it here. I'm going to open that up in another tab. Okay. And I tend to make the very first piece they see something that is going to relate to them or speak to them in some way. So this is an article I found about 2 students several years ago in New York City that were hurt in this lab fire. It was very tragic, and it was lab safety, some lab safety things that could have been prevented. Okay, so that's going to be the title of my section. In the description, I can add part of the article. You can use the whole article however you want to do it. So just for the sake of this, I'm just going to capture that, copy paste, and I'm going to put that in the description. Okay, and just a note, read. Know what to do with this information. So they're going to read this article. And then you can ask a question after. And in this case, I think I'm just going to have them do a reflection. Do you think about the article? Does this relate to lab safety? What are your thoughts? I am going to make it required, but I'm not going to count this as points. There's no right answer. This is just feedback. So I'm going to keep this 0 points, but it is going to be required. I can add in here as well cite the source. So I can copy and paste. I can use citation machine, and I can add the source here at the very end. For right now, I'm just going to put source New York Times by, and then I'll get the source later. And okay, so they're going to start off this real-world connection piece. I have an article and a reflection. Next, I have a video. So I'm going to use this video, Chem Games, and let's just open that up, close that out, open that up. Okay, so that's the Chem Game video that I want to use. Now this is pretty long. I usually don't do a video that's 9 minutes long in one big chunk. So I might use Screencastify, play it, record it in beat bits. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to have this whole video. Okay, so the next section is going to be Chem Games Safety. Okay, and this got moved, so I got to move this back up to the other section. So let's do that. No. Okay, it's not moving. Come on. There we go. Okay, so that question's back where it was supposed to be. So again, I just dropped and dragged that. If that happens to you. Okay, back to this section. So I'm in this section. I'm going to add the video. I have the URL here that I want to use. I go back, I paste it in. It finds it for me. Yes, that's the one I want to use. Select. Now notice I could have searched directly in there. You can do it that way too. Again, Chem Games Lab Safety. Okay. So they're going to watch the video, and then I'm going to ask some questions. And I go back to my planning. What am I going to ask about? Safety goggles. Okay. When should students wear safety goggles in the lab? Always. Dealing with acid. Okay. And using Bunsen burner. Okay. So got my choices. And because this one is going to count, I need to know that they get this. I'm going to choose the right answer, always. And I'm going to give this points. Make sure you give this point values. Done. And make this required. Another thing you can do, and I like to do this, is shuffle the option order. It's not shuffling the question order, just the options. So if one student does share it with another student, at least they have to look for the answer. It makes them work for it a little bit. Okay, so that's a multiple choice kind of question. What other kind of questions that I want to do here? Tie hair back, look at labels twice. Let's try to look at labels twice. I'll make a question about that. They have to look at labels twice. Okay, so I'll make a question. How many times should or must a student read the chemical label according to the video? Okay, so I'm going to make this an actual short answer. And I want it as a number. Okay. So the number is, and it should be 2. I want it to be a number. Okay. And the answer, I'll make this worth 1 point. The correct answer, 2. Okay. And let's see. Number has to be equal to 2. This is another way of doing it. Make it the number equal to 2. And if they don't get it right, try again. A single digit number. In case they put the word 2 in. Okay. So that's how you could do that if you're looking for something specific. Another way I could have done this is I could have made it a drop-down box. And if I had done that, so let me change that. If I do this, then I could make the options 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times, and the answer key would have been 2. Okay, so however you want to do that. So again, there's different options you have here. Okay, so I'm going to make another section now. Okay, I've done my article, I've done my video. Now I'm going to get to an infographic. So infographics I really like. Let me click on this. Okay. Now there's a lot of black space around here that, or negative space here that I don't really need. I just want to focus on this. So I'm going to take a selected screenshot where I just want a picture of the actual sign, the actual symbols I want to use. And that's it. So I've captured that. In my computer, it sends it to my desktop. Nowhere it saves these screenshots to. For mine, it's the desktop. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and they're going to learn about lab safety symbols. Again, feel free to pause this video and try some of these things out for your own context. And I'm going to add a picture. And this time I'm not doing it, I'm not searching. You can search for it I'm going to upload it from my computer because I know that screenshot I just took is there waiting for me. Okay. So, chemical hazard symbols, chemical hazard symbols. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to have them read and look at this infographic and then answer some questions. Okay, so I can ask a couple of things. So I can ask a picture. So what does this mean? So let's do one flammable. So I already have this here. Instead of looking up flammable, I can just take a little screenshot of this. If you want to Google search flammable, you can. So I'll try that first. I want a picture as my question. Okay, so let's try Google Images and see if we get it. Flammable symbol. And let's see if we get that same one. Yeah, that's pretty close. So I could use this. Right? I could use that as my question. What is this what does this symbol stand for? Or in this case, I think I'm just going to, because I want to make a direct correlation here. I think I'm just going to take a little mini screenshot of this actual symbol and use that in the question. You can do it either way. So again, this time I'm going to upload. I do a lot of screenshotting or selective screenshotting. So that's in the question. So my question is going to be, what does this symbol stand for? Okay, and I can give them their choices. I'll make this multiple choice. Or well, here, I'll to show you a different question type. Maybe I'll do checkboxes. Okay, so I can make this flammable, corrosive, another voice, oxidizing, health hazard, and oxidizing. Okay. So for checkboxes, I'm gonna, whenever I do checkboxes, I tell them how many, because you can check more than one. So I'm gonna, in this case, just choose one only. And my answer key is just gonna be flammable. And I definitely want to make it 1 point. You can make it as many points as you want if you want to weight these somewhat. And again, you want to make it required. And you can shuffle the option order. So it'll just shuffle this. It won't shuffle the questions, just shuffle your choices there. Okay, so here I'm using a symbol in the question. What if you want to use the symbol in the answer? So let's try one of those. I'm going to add another question. Which of the following is the symbol for, let's see which one I'm going to choose. Let's do toxic. Toxic. Okay, so that's my question. And now I can have pictures as answer choices. So I have my option 1. Instead of writing a word, I can add an image. Okay? And again, I can search for the image for toxic using the Google, but I'm probably just going to do a screenshot. That way it's exactly a good match. So, okay. So I screenshotted it, saved it to my desktop, and I'm going to add that. Okay, so that's one of their answer choices. And I'll just put one more up there for now. And again, option 2, I'm not writing a word. I want to use a picture. And again, if I didn't want to screenshot it, I could just search the Google image. And let's say I want to do flammable as my incorrect answer. And I'll choose that. Insert. Okay, so those are their 2 choices. You can make as many choices. Answer key, you got to say which one's correct. That's the correct one for toxic. And I'm going to give it a point value. Done. Always make it required, or they can skip it. And I like shuffling the option order. Okay, so we've learned different question types. We've learned how to put pictures in the question, pictures in as answers. I have a different array of things. I have an article, I have a video, I have an infographic. So there are, I like the multimedia approach myself. I'm going to add another section, go back to my planning, keep on the right track. And here's where I want to do a little assessment. I found a cartoon that I wanted to use. And again, maybe you just bookmarked it. And again, this image, I don't want to use the whole thing. There's a lot going on in here. So I'm going to use that selected screenshot. I use that a lot. And I'm just going to take a picture. Again, for a Mac, it's Shift Command 4. For Windows, I'd have to look it up again, but I'll have to look it up again. I know it was in the last video. Okay, so I'm just going to take a picture of this image, and I'm going to use that to have them assess what she's doing wrong. Go back to my web quest, and this is going to be applying your knowledge is my next section. All right, so I made a section, applying your knowledge, and I'm going to put the question in. Okay, and again, I have an image to be part of the question, so I'm going to put that here. Since I did a screenshot, it's going to be, for me, on my desktop. Okay. What are let's see, how many things is she doing wrong? 1, 2, at least 3. I'm going to say 3. What are the 3 things a student is doing that is not safe? And just a reminder, choose 3, because I'm going to make this a checkbox list. You can make a multiple choice, but I think this is a good place for checkbox. They're going to choose 3 things. Okay, not wearing goggles, not wearing gloves, hair is not tied back, sitting on stool. Okay, so we're going to choose 3 of these that she is doing wrong in the picture, and let me get my answer key. Okay, so not wearing goggles, hair not tied back, sitting on stool. She doesn't have to wear gloves in this case because she's dealing with flame, and that might not be good. So those are my 3 correct choices. Oh, let me go back. I make sure I made this worth points. No points. Let me go back to answer key, and I have to make this a point value. Okay, done. And required. And again, I like shuffling option order. Okay, so back to my plan. You can see a lot of research, a lot of work. Okay, next I was going to give them their task. I've covered a few different things. So let's just go back to the very beginning. I had my theme, I did my background color, I did my settings to make this count for points as a quiz and make them only be able to do this once. I make them put their name in. I have an article that hopefully will connect with them in some way and have them reflect on that. I have a video. They have to answer some questions based on the video. I have an infographic for them to analyze. Okay. And then I have them applying their knowledge from the video and a little bit from the article as well in this little assessment piece here. And for my students, I would have more than just this here, but this gives you an idea. And last, I'm going to add another section, and this is going to be their task. Again, you can decide if you want a task in your WebQuest or not. It's really up to you. So their task for me, let me go back, is going to be a safety poster. So they're going to use either Google Drawings, or they're going to send a picture of a poster, or if we're actually in real life, that would be nice. They can just bring me the actual poster. So that's their task. So use Google Drawings or send picture of poster, or again, if real life, an actual poster that shows and describes visually at least one safety rule this web quest. That could be from the video, the article, the cartoon, the symbols, whatever they like. So, and I could attach, if I wanted to, a rubric here. I could give them a checklist of things to do, things like that. I think I do want to give them at least an example. So I'm going to add an image. This time I'm just going to search lab safety poster. And you can go through, see if you see anything you like. I'm not seeing anything particularly great, but I know I have one in my classroom I like about the lab dog. So let's see if I can find that one. That one's here. Okay. Sometimes it's not going to show up here in these free ones. So let me see if I saved one. Did I? Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to open another tab and just in regular Google Images, I know there's one that I like. It's about a lab dog safety poster. Found it. There. And I can do it this way. I like doing screenshots. It's just easier for me and I have it. So I'm going to use that as their example. So I took a little screenshot and go back. I'm going to add this in now. Nope, I'm going to not use their search. I'm going to go back to upload and take the one I have a picture of. You can see I do lots of screenshots. Okay, and then here is an example. Okay. Have their task, and now it is complete. And you can give them a little encouragement, whatever, like get started. Give them a due date. That's usually a good thing to do, right? Due by Friday, well, I don't know, Friday 9/9/20, whatever it is. So whatever you wanted to do. And then sometimes I'll even tell them what time exactly these days. Okay, so hopefully that gave you a bit of an overview. This is a linear one. I'll do another video on a nonlinear one in the next video series. But this is linear, gives you a good idea to get started. Linear is probably the easiest one to start with. Notice that, again, the different media, different kinds of questions, and again, think if you want to add that task on or not. Okay, so I hope this helps, and I will make another video on how to do a nonlinear version if that's something that you are more interested in. But at this point, go ahead, rewatch this video if you need to, and pause it as you go through, and start making your web quest. Good luck, and let me know of any questions.